Welcome to the Power of Charms podcast and interview series. I'm Kay McDonald, and today I am so excited to introduce Ginger Clayton. She has a company called Elon Tech, and I will have her explain it all to you. But what I love about Ginger is she walks the talk. She blends managing a cause and managing a charity with her business, and is just like the total package. And Ginger is, I think, quite young. She just had a significant birthday, but she's got all these accolades. Let me read some of these to you. She was in the Business Journal Top 25 Women in Business, the Most Admired CEOs and Tech Titans, Most Influential Woman in the Valley, and she's a business owner and runs a charity. So I don't know what else there is that I can say. I want to spend the time listening to Ginger. So Ginger, tell us a little bit about Elon Tech first, and then we'll weave in what you're doing with the Diaper Bank.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me today. Appreciate it. Sure, it's going to be fun getting to spend some time chatting with you.
Oh yeah.
My company is Elon Tech. We're a commercial provider of furniture, relocation, and technology solutions, primarily throughout the state of Arizona, but also across the United States as well. And really our sweet spot is when a company is relocating. We're about 11 different vendors in one. And our goal is that you would have a joyful move, because it is often not the case and is often quite stressful. And so we really just try to take the major aspects of that and make it seamless and exciting, because it should be fun to get it to set up your new space, right?
Oh,
and
absolutely. But I can imagine that it's probably one of the most stressful things that people go through as well. Now, you guys have been in business since 1997, and
right.
You have reinvented yourself several times. So you started out not necessarily with a furniture component. Is that correct?
That's correct. Actually, we started in 1997 as an IT company. The original company was called Computer Business Technologies. My husband and I are in business together, and he was an IT engineer. And we were the outsourced IT department for small and medium-sized businesses 24/7, and added different facets of technology onto that business, such as low voltage wiring very quickly. So that's the voice and data. What makes your phones work and your computers work and the network and all of that. And then CCTV video surveillance, audio visual systems, like for business conference rooms, as well as card access. And so those types of things were what we were providing. And then we ended up adding voice over IP telephone systems, as well as traditional PBX, though there's not a whole lot of that around anymore. But at the time, voice over IP was
progressive.
Yeah. But it was a server. And so it fit right in with our IT engineers and what they were doing. So, and then 9/11 happened. And we lost 25% of our revenue. And we thought, how are we going to pull out of this downturn and also be sustainable in the future, as history does tend to repeat itself, and there'll be another dip right in the economy. So we wanted to build a stronger base, if you would. And we actually went to our clients and asked them if there was something that we could do that may or may not be related to what we're currently doing for you. What might that be? And one of them had just gone through a relocation. And they said, well, you recently moved all of our technology over. You did our wiring, our AV, our card access. You moved our computers and our printers, our network, our telephone system. If you could have just moved over the furniture, it would have been great. They had an experience that didn't go so well with the moving company that they'd had at the time. And they kind of talked to us about those pieces. And we thought, wow, this could be interesting. And I had at my previous employment, before I had my own company, had gone through a commercial move. And I just remember thinking, this could go a lot smoother, right? And I am kind of built on just my personality on efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always kind of look at things through that lens pretty naturally.
Mm-hmm. And
And
seeing
so
what
we
the
thought,
customer needs and
yeah, how can we make this more streamlined? How can we save money? I love saving people money and time because it is so precious. And so we started a relocation company. It was called Relocation Management Specialists, and um, and our revenue tripled within 1 year
oh my gosh. Well, you
after
know
we.
what I love is that you say you had your furniture baby.
And then, yes, and then I joke, right? So I started this relocation company. My husband was an IT company, and we merged our lives. We got married. We merged our companies, and then we had a furniture baby. A few years after that. Yeah, so it's kind of a fun little thing
And
to
is
say.
it to get together you have 5 children, am I correct?
Yes, that's right. We have 5 children, and so we both brought in children. Well, I brought in one, he brought in two, and and then we had two together. So we were a little bit of a Brady Bunch, if you will.
Did you start your company together before you were married or after you were married?
So it would have been right after we were married, and he had the IT company, and I had started the relocation company pretty soon after we were married, and then we merged them together and had our furniture baby, if you will, our furniture company baby, and we actually rebranded the company, which is now known as Elon Tech, with divisions. So we have our furniture division, our commercial relocation division, and we still have the technology division, though it looks a little different today than it did back then. We're not doing the IT 24/7, 2-hour response time for a down server anymore.
Right.
We're
Uh-huh.
doing more project-based IT work. And we
Right.
also do the IT move, which most moving companies do not do. That
Right.
makes us very unique and different because we have that skill set.
You offer the whole package. Hey, branding is so important. How did you come up with the name Elontec?
Yeah, well, we actually hired a company that we still work with today, and now it's known as O Partners or OH Partners. And they helped us go through this branding exercise. And we really wanted a company name that didn't say what we did in it, like Computer Business Technologies was our IT company name,
Cheers,
Relocation Management Specialist, right?
Right.
Exactly, because we wanted to be able to ebb and flow, and we realized how important it was to be able to diversify our way out of a downturn, or now, right, pivot is the big word over the last couple of years. And so we wanted to give ourselves that flexibility. So we were going more with a feeling, and we really listed a lot of different values that were important to us and what we wanted our clients to feel, which was alliances, longevity. We'll always have that tech piece, which makes us unique and different. And so it was actually going to be Elontec, ALL, for alliances. But one of our key employees who's been with us for now 22, 23 years, his name is Alan. And so we thought, okay, that might go to his head a little bit. So we're not going to do Elontec, we'll do Elontec. So the E part in the tech is kind of like married on the bookends, right, of the tech piece.
Yeah.
Lawn in the middle for really longevity. And we wanted also a name that felt solid.
Sure. And it does.
And moderately priced. So we're not going to be your cheapest, and we're not going to be the most expensive. We're a good value-based company with great products that stand the test of time.
Oh, I think that's so interesting because it is a very strong name. That's always fun to find out how you came to that name. So there's another aspect of your life, what you do, and it's the Diaper Bank, Arizona Diaper Bank. And I see you've got some Huggies behind you. Love that. You've got a great story of how you realized that there was such a need in the community. And I read that story and I'm like, oh my gosh, so many of us just have no clue of the challenges that single mothers go through. Can you tell us your story, Ginger, and then kind of how you ended up doing this great nonprofit?
Yeah, I'd love to share it. Actually, I was once a young, divorced, single mom. I was down in Tucson, going to U of A, had multiple jobs, and trying to finish school, right? And my baby, Jocelyn, who actually ended up helping me with manage the diaper bank for a period of time
Oh,
as an adult, she had been sick one week. And so she was going through more diapers than normal. And I had, a budget for my diaper usage. And I realized it was the middle of the night, Thursday night, Friday, early morning. And I was up changing her diaper, and I only had 2 diapers left. I realized I wouldn't have enough diapers to drop her off at daycare, because daycare centers typically require whatever amount your child will go through in the day, which could be 6 to 10 diapers, depending on how old the baby is. So the younger the baby, the more diapers they use typically.
mm-hmm.
And so usually I brought about 6 diapers to daycare. And if you don't have enough diapers at daycare, you can't drop your baby off, and then you can't go to work. I would have missed 2 jobs in a class that day. I only had a couple dollars left to my name, so I didn't have money to go buy more diapers. And I wouldn't get paid until 4 o'clock that day. It was Friday, coming up on Friday. And I thought, what am I going to do? And there were no cash apps to get, money from my mom or anything that day, because I'm sure she would have if I could have, but the technology just didn't exist back then.
Right.
And she was in Vermont, which is where I'm from, and I was in Tucson. And so I called one of my jobs. So one of my jobs was as a visit supervisor for the Casa de los Niños down in Tucson. And Joanne Carolzak, and she's still there today. I called her and I said, this is my problem. And keep in mind, I'm probably, I was like 22, 23 at the time. I said, I'm not sure what to do. I don't want to miss work. I don't want to miss my class. But this is my situation. And she said, we have, I think it was like the Community Diaper Bank at the time. And now it's known as the Diaper Bank of Southern Arizona. It's actually the nation's first diaper bank, as I have come to learn over the years. But she said, we have this community diaper bank that helps us with diapers for families in need. And it sounds like you're a family in need. And so she gave me a package of diapers. So then I could get paid, because obviously I was worried if I was going to call off last minute from 2 jobs. One, I wouldn't get paid.
Right.
2, I was worried, well, would this make them very unhappy, and it could affect my employment.
Sure.
And then of course it could affect my grades if I can't go to my college class, right? So at any rate, 1 package of diapers has led to all of this. And really, it just stuck with me. I was very prideful and was trying to do everything I could to not ask for help, right?
Right.
From my parents, from anybody. I was always have been very independent.
Mm-hmm.
And so to accept help was very difficult. However, when I look back, I'm so blessed for that package of diapers, and then really how it stuck with me, right? All of those years. So now fast forward maybe a decade or so. About a decade. And then I am maybe a little more than that. Anyway, and then I met Eileen Rogers in my Women Presidents organization. So now I own a business. Now I've met Eileen Rogers because we're in Women in Presidents organization together. And she had started a diaper drive called the Annual Baby Diaper Drive for Homeward Bound, which is a transitional housing program for families in need here in Phoenix. And she invited me to help out and do a diaper drive. And there was a big counting day. And I loved that I could get my kids involved. So my youngest was about 2.5, and she's now 17. But she was 2.5, barely out of diaper, probably still in pull-ups at the time, and I could bring all 5 kids to this event. And I loved that. And so we did this as a family together. Most of my kids don't even remember a life before diaper drives, especially not Jenny and Lexi, the youngest ones, right? And so Eileen had this diaper drive, and then I started hosting a diaper drive, and then I got involved and started co-chairing it. And and with another woman, Susan Hoagland, as well, who was in this Women Presidents organization with Eileen and I. And then Eileen was really, she had done this for many years, had reached a 1 million diaper goal over 10 years with the annual baby diaper drive for Homeward Bound, which needed about 90,000 diapers a year, Homeward Bound did, for its children in their program.
Nobody, I mean, just don't even think about that. My God.
Yeah, it's a lot. And, you know, a lot of people don't realize that the clients that we serve are typically in shelters, right? They're below the federal poverty line. And they're typically on food stamps, and you cannot buy diapers with food stamps because they're considered a paper product. And in fact, there's no help here in the state of Arizona or assistance with diapers. Yet you're required to bring disposable diapers to daycares to drop off your child, and enough per child. So if you have multiple children,
oh my gosh, you need all those boxes of Huggies.
You need all the Huggies, right? And so at any rate, that's how I got involved. And then as I'm co-chairing and chairing this diaper drive, I applied for a grant, like as a diaper closet. I'd come across this Huggies grant. And I thought, well, let's apply for this as a diaper closet here. And then I learned there were, you know, diaper banks. And then I started thinking back to when I was younger and a young mom. And I'm like, oh, there was this diaper bank in Tucson. And so I looked them up. I realized that there were a couple hundred diaper banks actually across the United States now. Learned about the National Diaper Bank Network Association. And then I thought, I looked, Phoenix didn't have one. And I thought, we are the 5th fastest growing city in the United States with a huge poverty level. How can we not have a diaper bank?
How can we not have a diaper bank?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was on the board at this time of Homeward Bound, and I went to them and I said, hey, I really want to get a diaper bank going here. And when I make up my mind to do something, I try to find a fast way to just
get it handled, right? Yeah.
And so I learned this the beginning of summer, and then in the fall it was going to be the National Diaper Need Awareness Week, and then the Diaper Bank Network was trying to get every state to do proclamations from the governors. And I thought this would be a perfect time, great time to launch the diaper bank. We can get some media exposure. We'll do a ribbon cutting. And the fastest way for me to do that was to see if Homeward Bound would let me start it as a program of Homeward Bound. Perfect. And so they said, sure. Yeah. So within 2 weeks, I had a name, I had a website, we had a ribbon cutting, and we started the Diaper Bank of Central Arizona in September of 2013 with the mission to provide 1 million diapers a year to local families through nonprofits. So how we do this is quarterly. We distribute, you know, some are a little more, some are a little less, but our goal is about 250,000 diapers and some wipes every quarter to these partner agencies. There's an application process every year where nonprofits can apply to be a partner agency. And we typically have 25 to 30 nonprofits that we serve. And we often help on average about 10,000 children a year with diapers.
And I just wonder, how did they manage before you did this? And, you know, it's so interesting that, you know, you had a need in your life, and then you realized that other people had this same need. Then you combined your business acumen with the need and formed this amazing service, this amazing charity. And I just, you're kind of a wonderkin there, Ginger.
Oh,
no, it's really, really inspiring to see somebody that not only owns her own business, has 5 children, went through struggles on her own, and then to see your level of success today with not only Elontec, but the Diaper Bank of Arizona. It's very, very inspiring.
Well, thank you. And, you know, you mentioned you wonder how families did it before the diaper bank. And it's kind of sad, but there's actually been surveys that have been done. The Feeding America survey was the most recent one, where 83% of the families that were surveyed stating having to reuse diapers in order to meet critical household expenses. Yeah.
Which,
So they take, let's say your baby's in maybe a size 2 diaper, they take a size 4 diaper. They might even line it with something to make it last longer. Diapers are very absorbent, but they'd make that diaper last a whole 24 hours, which then causes health concerns, right? Because then the baby's getting diaper rash, which is very painful, but also you can get infections from that as well. And then if you consider there can be families with abuse issues, domestic violence issues, other issues, even just the stress of potentially being homeless, right? And a crying baby every hour certainly doesn't help those tenuous situations, right?
no, and I mean, the
ahead.
diapers are I'm such I mean, you have to have diapers, but you don't even think about that. Those of us that I've never had children, I just never realized that there was such a huge need. And when I hear your story and the need that it serves, it's just warms my heart that somebody is doing something about it. So thank you. And if people want to get more information or donate, they go to diaperbankaz.org. Is that correct?
That's right. And we are qualified for the Arizona charitable tax credit as well. So $400 for an individual, up to $800 for a married couple. You can donate right on the website.
Yeah. And that's easy to do.
Yeah.
Everyone should do it that lives in Arizona. Yep.
Yeah. And then also, one of the things we've been missing this last year because of COVID are all of the tremendous diaper drives where people would do drives for us, right? We're typically in the most need of sizes 4, 5, and 6. Right now, we can use pretty much all sizes. There's been a 40% increase in need across families in diapers. As you can imagine, COVID has quite an impact on the employment status of families here in Arizona.
Absolutely.
And so it's really been quite taxing for us as a diaper bank. And then to not have necessarily as many donations, both dollar-wise, fiscally, but also the diaper donations, because people weren't going to school, which we do a lot of school drives, right? Which was really fun, or work. And so that's really impacted our ability to help as many families as we'd really like to this year. So diaper donations, we do have drop-off locations around the valley. They're listed on our website. The Diaper Bank is located in my company at Elon Tech, which is about 75th Avenue and I-10, which is not always that convenient for everybody depending on where they're coming from. So we've created these partnerships with some other businesses, small businesses here in the valley, where it's more convenient to be able to drop off the diapers there. And then they'll either drop them off at our location, or we'll go and pick them up when they get enough. So that can be an easy way to help out as well. And also and if people just don't have money right now, which is certainly understandable, but you still want to help, we're really trying to increase our Instagram followers and Facebook and all of that on social media. So people can go in and follow us, like us, share our information. And you never know when you share that, whose lives that can touch. They might want to hold a diaper drive or donate, or they might need help. And now they can learn how to get the help that they need.
Right. Where they might never have known that there was a resource before. That's true. It's an amazing service that you offer, but you also, people have to know about it, So yeah, it's important to get the word out. And so we encourage everyone that's watching this to also go to the site and sign up for all your social media so that they can, get all the messaging and everything, and then also share that. It's just so important. And I love the fact that people can either donate product to you at those locations, or they can donate funds to buy the products. Is there any other help that you need? Do you need volunteers or anything like that? Or does your staff pretty much feel that need?
That's a great question. We take both. So we have an Elon Serve team at Elon Tech, and we're very involved in the community. Certainly the Diaper Bank is our biggest piece. for serving, but we've also got some great favorites, Kitchen on the Street, Feed My Starving Children, Special Olympics of Arizona, Homeward Bound, UMOM. We've got several nonprofits that we love to spend time helping. It's been obviously a different year this last year. And then Amanda Hope Rainbow Angels has been a really great one because we could do things to help them at our office in small numbers. So we could still contribute and make a difference to, you know, children who have cancer and their families, but, you know, still be COVID friendly, if you will, right? And so that's always really great. But yes, we do have volunteers where we've redone our staging day and distribution because of COVID. So where we used to have 30 volunteers or 35 volunteers on a big staging day where we're staging all the diaper orders for the partner agencies in the morning, and in the afternoon all of the nonprofits would come and we would help load up their diapers. But now with COVID, we've really got it down to about 10 to 12 volunteers. And so but we do take in volunteers if people are interested. They certainly can contact us. We have our number on our website. Gabby, we have our a new president this year. I'm still the founder of the Diaper Bank of Central Arizona, but my company and managing my company, Elontec, really takes a lot of bandwidth.
Sure.
And one of the things I've always wanted to do is make sure that the diaper bank was sustainable beyond me. So I'm super excited to have our first president of the diaper bank. Thank you, Gabby Young.
That's a big step. That's wonderful.
Yeah, she's really fantastic. And she's been on our advisory board for several years. And in fact, she was just speaking on a CBS national podcast about diaper need. That was pretty fascinating. And one of the statistics that she mentioned was that there's an actual 86% more diapers that were distributed this last year across the United States. Yeah, and it's really impacted Huggies. You know, we have a grant program with Huggies where we get so many diapers a year, typically about 250,000. We used to get 500,000, but then there's been so many national disasters and things where they have, you know, sent some diapers directly to the disaster. But it certainly affects our ability to get those. And one of the things I wanted to bring up was this grant that we have with Huggies is fantastic. We also have a diaper purchasing program with Huggies aside from the grant, where we can buy diapers at a greatly discounted rate because we buy in bulk and we're a diaper bank. So when people donate, their money will go just about twice as far. So we can get twice the amount of diapers with donated funds. And most of our money goes towards diapers because we have, you know, Elon Tech donates a lot. And then we use volunteers to stage everything and do our inventory. And so we have pretty little overhead.
Right.
So that's one of the things that's really great too. And in today's world, it can be pretty easy to just donate right online, but some people really like to physically donate diapers as well, and we love to get those too. So either way, we've got all sorts of options.
Oh, that's so good that you have all those different venues and ways for people to help you. It sounds like a diaper shortage is something that is pretty serious. And, you know, I'm just thinking in my mind, look at all the PPP that's being produced. I wonder if when that's not needed, if some of that efforts could go into getting enough diapers for all the kids in the world.
Well, funny you should mention that, because there are some bills that will hopefully be passed here to get several million in funding to help families in need with diapers just here in the state. I know they're working on this nationwide, but that's going to be pretty critical. And we will be having some information, certainly, that we'll be sharing as we get more and we get a little closer to that. So the more people can let their senator know and state representatives know when you see issues, and we'll always have those posted on our Facebook and Instagram for people to follow and write letters and or emails or what have you to help, because that really does make a difference. They really listen to their constituents.
Well, you certainly have made me aware today of something that I wasn't really aware of. I knew the work that you did, but I didn't realize quite the enhanced need right now. So I hope that all of our listeners today will, be spurred to action to see if we can help you solve this. Gosh. Again, it's diaperbankaz.org. And then if you want to find out about the wonderful services that she offers through Elon Tech, a lot of us are moving our offices, moving things to our home or expanding offices or just changing. And so I know that this is a busy time for you as well with your business. And I think it's just wonderful that you've spent the time with us today, Ginger, because I know you just got back from a big trip for your birthday. And I don't know how you balance it all with the kids and the charity and the business, but thank you so much. And again, if you, elontec.com.
That's right. Clayton. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today, Kay. Great.
Thank you so much. It's been rich and wonderful.
Thank you.
I look forward to talking more. Thanks.
Sounds good.